All right, so now we have the lower arm portion of the mobility. And you see here, I've got a pretty funny mobility roll here. This is actually a very small mobility roll from Black Roll. And the reason this one's a bit special is somehow, and I don't know how, they made this little guy so dense that it really brings a really special effect. So if you can get the small one from Black Roll, I highly suggest it. If not, definitely just try to find one from somewhere else. But what we're going to do here is we're going to work on 4 different areas. Both sides of the forearm being 2, the bicep a bit, and the tricep. So keeping it simple, we're going to start rolling on the lower forearm. I would use something harder than this table. This is just convenient for the film. Usually when we're downstairs in the training center, we use one of the boxes that we jump on, so a wood or something of a harder nature, not so soft. But here you can get the idea of what I'm doing. Here, what's going to happen is at first your arm's going to not really feel anything because you've got to, your arm has to first relax. It's always under so much tension because we're using it throughout the day that I have noticed usually after the first 30 seconds, that's where we start to really feel the areas that need to release and a bit of the tightness. I like to obviously start flat, so my hand is in a neutral position, but what you will notice is you start to externally rotate or turn your arm out a little bit and get on the line of that bone. You will feel that this sometimes is where a lot of that hidden pain is laying, yeah? So from here, just to keep it simple, what I like to do, instead of rotating my body yet, is going into the tricep. So now this basically starts above my elbow, and from here, I'm able to do the same thing. Now take care with this one, because when you first start, this is much more painful than you think it's going to be. You can start with your arm straight. You can then rotate it a little bit, which will go into the tricep biceps a little bit here. And you can also, if you're able to, completely rotate your entire body. So try to get your thumb down in this position and work on in that area. I would say for each area, you can easily take 3 to 5 minutes or even more. So this can be a simple 5-minute exercise, or you can easily extend this to 15 to 20 minutes because right now we've only worked on the 2 areas. So from this to the tricep, now we want to go into the top of the forearm, so the tennis muscle issue, if you will, and also the bicep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate myself. I have my hand on the floor, but if you have your hand on a chair or a table or anything else, it also works. And you're going to notice in this position, I'm able to now come over that area right there. So the front of my forearm, if you will. This is where a lot of the this is the tennis elbow injury, but also this is the same muscles that catch on fire when we're typing quite a bit or when we're writing quite a bit. So this is fantastic for everybody. And then as we go a little bit higher, we can start getting into the bicep. So right into that this open area here. And we basically just search for different areas of the pain. If we want to move this closer so we can get deeper in the bicep, that is also okay. And what we do here is we basically just search for all of our painful areas. If you go over the bone, it's okay. It doesn't really bring much, so we don't need to continue it. But we just want to search for different areas that are painful. And if they are extremely painful, that is because we don't work this area that much. That's okay. Just go light. Don't push too hard. And when you're done, always wait for the normal feeling to come back before we continue our daily activity.